Episode 13. Were you going to do the re-recording or are we recording thing again?
No. I will say that you look at me the exact same way every time when the look in your eye is it's go time.
Yeah.
And you're like,
it is go time.
Episode 13 of the currently Heckin Cool Dads podcast, maybe formerly.
You've already got your beer open.
Yeah, because I brought a 12 pack of shitballs beer. So
Did you have tacos again today?
I did.
Did you?
I haven't done a lot of cooking this week. The last week like really got away from me. Did a lot of shit over the last week. And was trying to figure out what I was going to do for dinner for the kids at the very least. And I decided to they're always down with breakfast or dinner. So I made some pancakes and some bacon. It's just not my thing. And Sierra was like, "Can you make enough for me?" I'm like, "Sure." And then I was like, "Well, I'm going to order Los Guachos."
Oh, nice. I had pancakes this morning.
There you go.
Woke up, fucking crushed them. I had protein pancakes though. I had health pancakes.
What's the shit you're drinking?
This is Dogfish Head. I told you I've been like really into sour beers. It's called Sequence Ale. Probably the best sour beer I've ever had.
I don't like sour beers.
I know. There's something actually really cool about this one. It's 3 different beers that they brew separately, and then they mix them.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know if all sours are made that way, but I know this one is because it's called like Sequence Ale. It's actually a play on something.
Sequential?
Yes. It is. So
I see.
They brew like a Kolsch, and then like day 2 they put like a Goza in it, and then day 3 it's something else. I think it's like a Vice or something. But regardless, it's 3 separate fucking beers, and then they put it all together, and this motherfucker is refreshing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Another interesting thing is Dogfish Head just made a fucking goddamn ton of money because they are merging with Sam Adams.
No shit.
Yeah.
They're actually
Sam Adams is still independent. They're not a corporation. Like they're not like part of the big boys.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
They're actually a relatively small brewery. They're like it's like husband wife owned. They're from Delaware, but they brew like it's like 250,000 barrels a year. I mean, it's relatively fucking small, just tight. So we had a show last night. You guys have a show tomorrow, so we'll look forward to your report. Our show was awesome. We played with some fantastic bands, and I got to play a fucking Vader cab. I love Vader cabs. And I want one so bad, but I specifically want the 215 cab because we tune so low. It'd be great for you too, but they never make them anymore, so you can like never find them.
Yeah.
And what's his face? Sean, who used to be in like Kill What I Adore, he had the 215 and the 412. He put them bitches up for sale, and I swear to God, they sold in like 12 minutes because I hit them up.
I got a 215. And I fucking love it.
What do you have?
It's a PV. It's a vintage PV.
What speakers does it have in it? Do you know?
Yeah, they're EVs.
Oh.
But I mean, they're old. I got it at Music Around, and I like traded like an old shitty P bass and like a out of date USB interface or something like that. And I am getting it for like $20. And
shit. It makes a world of difference to play through 15s.
And it's a bass cab. It's a PV bass cab, and I put that underneath the 412, and it's just this rumble from underneath. And it was interesting because I brought it home, and I was like, the nameplate on the back of the PV, like where the serial numbers and stuff like was different. And then I looked, and like the casters were like those ones that are like balls, not like modern wheels. And I looked it up, and it was like they stopped making them with those casters in like 1968 or 69 or something like that. So I'm like, holy shit, this thing is like really fucking old. And I look, and it's the serial numbers before they started like cataloging them. So like it's a shorter serial number that there's no list of anywhere.
Yeah.
And then I popped it open, and I guess back in the day, PV did have a partnership with EV. They're the ones that do like the PAs and stuff like that.
That's what we have. Oh, wait, no. That's what we have at my house.
Yeah. And so they might be original speakers. They might not be, but they're from the era. They're like late 60s. But man, that fucking thing is just, if I hook up just the Mesa dual rectifier and just use that cab, and like to do like a really harsh sound, but then it's like really bassy coming out of the cab. It sounds so fucking thick.
I don't know anybody that uses a bass cab as a guitar cab.
I don't generally use it straight up, but I will say it does pair really well with like a really ripping high gain amp.
Nice.
It's PV. I mean, it's a PV cab. So
yeah, there's a few companies out there that are still making 215 cabs for guitar. They're actual guitar cabs. And I know Vader, again, they like never make them anymore. I think there's something with they got to order the speakers in such like a large quantity that, you know, it's not worth it or whatever. But I think they use Eminence speakers, but I want one so bad. So if anybody has one, a 215, I will buy that bitch. Straight up cash monies.
Spares no expense. He'll buy it.
I will definitely buy it.
Yeah, I was gonna go. It was fully on my Saturday agenda, but we got home from Zoombezi Bay a little bit
You're looking hella bronze right now.
It's the first time this year I've like legitimately burnt like shower suck burnt. Like my back is fucking it was a one too many times around the adult lazy river.
Oh yeah. Were you drinking?
Oh yeah.
Very nice.
So we, you know, there was a couple adults and a couple more adults than children. So we were doing tag team, hanging out with the kids. Yeah. While a couple people go and do some loops in the adult lazy river.
I think we both sound a little tired today.
Dude, it's been a very long fucking weekend.
It's been a very long day. I got up and I fucking like mowed the lawn and shit. And I mean, this was the first time I had to fucking stop because I was just too fucking hot. And then just because I don't want to be fat, like I was like, all right, we're going to go for a run. My wife's training for a marathon. I was like, I'll go run with you. As we're trying to leave, this lady pulls up and like my wife's scheduled to talk about the landscaping, which is fucking crazy. I had no idea that was happening. And I've been doing landscaping. You're
all like hard work sweaty.
Yeah. But it's not even that. It's like if I knew somebody was coming, I literally would not do a fucking thing for the landscaping. But the fact that I've done anything and like pulled little weeds and shit, I'm like, it was all for nothing because we're about to pay somebody to redo that shit. So then we started to run and my daughter woke up. Hayden was like keeping an eye on her. We were trying to run the neighborhood. So I was like, fuck, I got to go back home. So I went, did that. And then my wife also failed to mention that we had company coming over. So then we had to entertain and we decided to do that outside the whole time. So I'm fucking crispy. You see these shoulders.
I see those shoulders.
Yeah, these shoulders are fucking crispy.
We all got it. My kids are all, they all look like anime characters. Just like these big rosy red cheeks. And yeah, everybody got it good. Sierra got it real bad. I mean, she's like a ghost. So she got it really dang bad, but.
Really dang bad.
Really dang bad.
Really dang bad. Well, other than that, so I talked multiple people into getting scooter accounts last night. We went ripping around.
Hell yeah.
It was fucking fun. I went several times. It was like we had people coming to the show to meet us. I knew they were on their way, but I couldn't help myself. I was like, I'm going to go ride some scooters. So I talked Kyle into it. And that was the first time he had been on it. And you know, you can tell like when people are embarrassingly having fun. Because he kept going, he was like chuckling and laughing, like gut laughter. You could tell he was loving it, but he kept saying, this is so crazy. And I'm like, that doesn't match. Like the sounds that are coming out of you right now isn't matching. Yeah, this is crazy. Wink, like you're loving this shit. But honestly, I was too. And it's also last night was the first time in a while I've been on the Lime scooters. And I will have to say that you are right. Them tall ass Lime scooters.
Yeah.
Those are built for dudes.
And they just feel
big, tall people.
And they just feel like
sturdy.
It's not even quite like sturdy. So, well, yeah, I guess that's right. But you know, like when you like hit a bump with it and it's like something wiggles or something's a little bit like rickety about it, but like in like a cool way.
Yeah.
You know, like it's like this thing's fucking doing the thing.
Yeah. And we played down on campus. So there were just like, I mean, there was 1,000 people out on scooters and we just were like ripping through. And shout out to Kyle because when we came in today, the goddamn recordy thing, the H6 wasn't turning on. And then I just stole 4 of Kyle's batteries and now it turns on. So thanks, Kyle.
But fuck you, Zoom, for telling us that there was still battery in it.
Yeah, like batteries, they say it's 2 and then I see it go down. It's like it was only 2 for the 0.1 second it was on, and I saw it drop to 1 before it shut off. So I was like, it's fucking batteries.
You remember that that old the gimmick when the batteries had those 2 contact points and you could put your fingers on them and it would show how much life was left in the battery?
Oh yeah,
it was weird.
Yeah,
it was a weird time because it was just there for a couple of years and it was just to sell more batteries. But
before you could do it on the battery itself, remember that it was like something in the package.
Yeah,
and you put it in and you squeeze that.
Oh yeah.
But now with fucking most batteries nowadays that I buy, it could totally be marketing, but I buy all those lithium ones. I feel like they last so fucking long, but they are really expensive.
I buy Kroger brand and Giant Eagle brand.
Man, fuck that.
We go through so many batteries. Every time I get another big ass pack of batteries, I'm like, we need to get our whole rechargeable thing going here.
Fuck that shit. Fuck that. I buy the lithium ones or I buy those goddamn Duracell Quantum. The shit just looks tight. I love them.
Looks tight inside the thing where you can't see it.
You right. You are so right. I feel
it's like you're at a car show and you're like, check out my under the hood, and it's like, check out my chrome engine. You're like, hey, check out the fucking batteries in the battery case.
They were chrome though. Look, they're laying right there. My batteries were dipped in chrome. So this is something we never get around to doing. I'm gonna fucking start us off with it right off the bat. Let's talk some rap. I know that we had brief talks last week. Mm-hmm. Let's start with, what are you listening to? What's your shit right now?
Well, I was right. I was right last week when I said that Freddie Gibbs and Madlib are going to come in and just as Daryl said, just shit all over everybody's records this year.
Yeah.
And goddamn, they did. I mean, that record dropped on Friday, and it's just less than an hour long, but a lot of tracks, like 17 tracks or something like that. And it's just it's got a lot of those weird little Madlib thoughts, just 45 seconds of some weird soul thing over some weird beat. And then Freddie Gibbs with across the board, he's all over the place stylistically, and it's awesome. Some really good features too. Mos Def or Yazin Bey and Black Thought are in a song together. And then there's another song where King Push comes in and does a verse and Killer Mike does the hook.
I like that you called him King Push.
I always do.
Yeah. Not Pusha T shirt. You remember that shit? Mm-hmm. Didn't we have that conversation? Mm-hmm. That was one of your things. I think I love all the Griselda stuff, and I love the Benny record. I know that we talked about that.
I listened to that record probably 20 times in the last week.
I love it, but I actually want to rank I fucking love that new Jim Jones record.
Oh, I need to listen to it still.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's his best one yet, and that shit gets me hype. Obviously, I love the Benny record.
West Side Gun's got one coming out next Friday.
And you know what's gonna happen is I'm gonna get stuck on that, and then a few weeks later there'll be another one. I'll get stuck on that. I get stuck on things for just these little periods of time.
Well, I do too.
But with the Jim Jones record, I'm listening to that, and it came out maybe 3-4 weeks ago. And then the Benny record dropped. I just listened to nothing but the Benny record for a week, and then I went back.
That's cool.
To the Jim Jones record.
That shows staying power.
And I was listening real hard to that fucking Sue Surf record, and then I fell off from listening to it. And Dave texted me one day, and he's real hype on that song "Killing Time." Mm-hmm. So I went back to that record now. So those are my 3 right now of the year that I'm listening to. And I think I sent you the Sue Surf song where he has a record with Benny.
Oh yeah, I have not listened to it yet, but yeah.
It's not my favorite track on the album. Weirdly enough, I would see, if you would look at that on paper, immediately I'd be like, that's going to be my favorite track, mm-hmm. But it wasn't. It wasn't my favorite track.
So yeah, I've been listening to that Freddie and Madlib, or Mad Gibbs as they were calling it. I'm listening to that this weekend. I haven't had a chance to listen to a ton of music this weekend as it is though. Or the last week.
We've talked about this offline before. When you think about what some of your favorite rap lyrics are, of all time, what do you judge it by? Do you judge it by just clever, or do you judge it by something that resonates with you? What do you judge if somebody's hey, what's your top 3 rap lines of all time? How would you judge that?
Generally, I would go first to clever. Just because I feel it's generally the more clever rappers are better rappers. I mean, like when you're that good of a lyricist, there's a good chance you're going to be really good at just the raw skill of rhyming. So,
do you ever listen to any of the battle rap stuff? Like actual battle rap, like from Smack or like URL or any of that stuff?
No, you were talking about it last week though, and I was meaning to, and I didn't.
Yeah, I think I brought that up because of Sue Surf. Like he's in that whole thing. Like when I listen to their shit, like if I want to hear clever, just like things that make me cover my mouth and go, oh, and, you know, shit like that, I'll watch the Smack DVDs, or like I'll pull up stuff on YouTube, like the URL stuff. But like the battle rappers almost never translate to good songwriters. And it's really weird how that works, because it's the same in the music world. Like there's people that can like shred on guitar and just fucking destroy things, but they don't write good songs. And that's why I always say like, oh, there are musicians and there are guitar players, you know.
It's like that Jared Dines guy.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's like the dude is fucking amazing, but like he's good at like playing the guitar. He's good at like playing, oh, you want to hear a song that sounds just like this band? I'll do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, all right, man, let's see your original shit.
Does he even have original shit?
I don't know.
I mean, he was doing that thing called Riff Wars. Did you ever see that?
I don't know.
Where he'd play a riff and then another YouTube guitar would like,
oh yeah,
it was like a battle back and forth.
And you know, I will say this. I will say that I'm not talking shit, because you know, I would say like, you know, 10 ways or like 10 different stage moves for different genres.
Yeah.
Like he's writing original shit, you know, to be all those genres. The dude is an expert at what he does. So I'm not, you know, I think it's awesome, and he's obviously making money doing it. So
he's also really good friends with Post Malone.
That's weird.
Isn't that crazy?
I remember seeing a video of them together.
Did you see the one where Post Malone was like, what the fuck was he singing?
It was on a Vice thing. It was on like Noisy.
Maybe. It was where he was singing. It wasn't as Blood Runs Black, but it was something like that.
They were on a bus, and like, it was like,
and he knew all the
shit.
lyrics. I was like, all right, not that I needed another reason to like Post Malone, but that's the one right there. No, but going back to the rap lyrics thing, that's we diverted. Yeah. That's exactly what I do too. Like I listen for things, and like things that are clever always get me. And it could be like, it's probably something that's so simple, and like, you know, these rap elitists will probably be like, that's a shit ass bar. Like, why do you even like that? And I don't know why. Some things just stick with me. I think I said the one on here last night, last podcast, that was like from 18 Wheeler when Push says,
oh yeah.
That, like, even that little one where he talks about, why would I 50-50, you ain't half of me? Like, I don't know why I love that, but I do. It's just like a quick little clever thing. And Push is always good for those. Mm-hmm. Are there any other ones that resonate or just stick out to you?
Classic one for me is in that song 6 Foot 7 Foot by Lil Wayne, when he says real G's move in silence like lasagna.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the type of clever I love. That like, it is just the weirdest wordplay on things that have nothing to do with each other, but like, yeah, that's like hilarious.
Yeah.
And on that new Freddie Gibbs record, he alludes to that line. He says real G's move in silence like, and then he says another word that starts with a silent G. But it was cool to hear it like repeated a few years later.
So what was that? Did you hear that weird noise?
It was like bonk.
Yeah. So one of the ones that I've always really liked, and I'm struggling to remember, I think it was Drake that said it. What the fuck was it? It was something like safe sex is good sex. Better use a latex. You don't want that late text, that I'm late text.
Dang.
Yeah, and I was like,
dang.
It was something like that. And I'm sure like somebody will fucking call me out because it's not that, but it was very much that. It was basically saying latex because you don't want that late text, that I'm late text. And I was like, hold the fuck on. I had to like go back and listen to it like 10 times. He did something else like that fucked me up one time. Oh no, it wasn't exactly like that. It was something about like, he's talking about being in a club and he says, cause I see my ex-girl standing with my next girl standing with the girl that I'm fucking right now. And I was like, all these things just fuck me up. I'm like, Hold on. I got to rewind that and listen to that again. What's some other classic ones that get you?
There was one I just thought of just now that I love. And it's in... I can't remember what song it is. It's a Run the Jewels song. LP's says, I hope you all run naked backwards through a field of dicks.
Oh, Jesus.
It's like a really hard payoff in a line that it's like simultaneously funny as it is like super hard.
Yeah.
I don't remember the context of the rhyme, but that one's great. There's another one I've had. Let me see if I have it on my phone.
Yeah. Another one that stands out to me is Big Sean in Sacrifices. He says, like, look at all the ones I've outlasted. I'm the one at the end, like you count backwards. I'm like, I feel it. I feel it, Big Sean. I feel like you're cheating because you get to look some up. I'm about to go and look some up.
Oh, no. I remember. It is funny, and all my picks are always mainstream as hell because, those are the songs you hear a lot of times. You hear the same rhymes over and over, and these are like, a lot of guys are working in studios with writers and producers helping them craft amazing lines. But in that Schoolboy Q song, that part, Kanye West has a great verse that the first time I heard it, I was like, what is this? This is what? Like, because it's, to start the verse with 7 OKs. Your first whole line is just a bunch of OKs. And I remember reading an interview with Schoolboy Q where even Schoolboy Q was like, he sent that back to us and that verse was on the song, they listened through and they're like, what? And they listen to it again, they're like, oh, like it didn't click till the second time through that they even listened to it in the studio. But in that song, he says, "Wifey gonna kill me. She's the female OJ."
Yeah.
And I mean to have just a clever line in general, but also because her dad was OJ's lawyer, and and I mean it was just a really nice little, pointing toward the elephant in the room. Is him and Kim Kardashian.
You would think that would make somebody stay away from it.
I know.
You would think like they'd be like, oh man, that's a clever line, but I need to let somebody else write that.
Yeah,
like, that's not.
But
funny.
I mean, that's Kanye West. So
quick correction: that late text line was Lil Wayne.
Oh,
it was not Drake. I remembered it, but how like
I'm glad to know that it's not Drake because fuck Drake. But
what the fuck? But see, when Drake first came out, there were so many of his sayings that sounded like Lil Wayne to me. I mean, Lil Wayne's who put him on and signed him. I don't know if you know that.
No, I know.
Okay, so I suspected like when he first came out, I was like, is he attempting to make his voice sound like Lil Wayne? Because there'd be like little like ad libs and shit, and I'm like, pretty sure Lil Wayne just did those because there's no way somebody that's not Lil Wayne sounds that much like Lil Wayne.
Okay, I'll take back. I'm not saying fuck Drake.
Yeah, because Drake's fucking dope.
But I don't know. It's somebody how could somebody drive me so crazy at the same time? I'm just like, dang, dude, you're really good at this.
Well, was there like was there a type of Drake that you did or did not like? I mean, because he's been through like, how many fucking albums has he got?
I like sexy singer Drake, like the Hotline Bling and all that stuff like that era. But at the same time, like the thing that I don't like about Drake is just, I feel like you go through these time periods where for 4 months, every single song on the radio has him in it or he's the lead.
Yeah.
And then he goes away for a while, and then it's like 3 or 4 more months where Drake's in every goddamn song again.
We're about to enter that season.
Great.
I mean, you don't listen to the radio anyway, right?
No, I do sometimes.
But you don't have a radio.
I have multiple vehicles.
Oh, so you just, if you're showing like the stereo needs to be in that day, you take the vehicle that has a stereo?
No. But I do drive the Honda Pilot sometimes.
And that's where you get all your Drake time?
That's where I get all my Drake time. I also have a 3-month free trial of Sirius XM right now too. So they sent me an email. I got a random email that says, hey, do you want this? You don't even have to put a credit card in. I was like, okay.
Oh, you know what? When I first bought my car, it just had that shit. Mm-hmm. And it still has preview channels. Like I turn it on and there'll just be some bullshit playing, but it's never anything I want to hear. So.
Oh man, I love it. I love Sirius XM.
What the fuck?
You know why? One reason.
I'm waiting.
2. 3 reasons.
Jesus, that escalated.
90s on 9.
Okay.
Which is all just 90s tunes.
Got it.
Fucking Channel 38, Ozzy's Boneyard. That's just like old Metallica, Dio, Judas Priest, Sabbath, solo Ozzy. I mean, it's just like fucking boogie down, rip and shred heavy metal. And then Channel 34, man, Lithium, which is just all 90s alternative and grunge. I mean, it's just like it is like the music I listened to on the radio growing up. Like we had a really good alt rock station up in Michigan. And so that was like, just fucking Smashing Pumpkins, Gin Blossoms, everything from Alice in Chains to fucking the super pop like Goo Goo Dolls and stuff.
You know what's crazy is I'm sitting here, I'm trying to think of what I listened to in the car, and I don't think I can even tell you the last time I put something that wasn't rap on in the car.
Interesting.
I feel like as the weather gets warmer, I just listen to more rap.
That's fair.
Because I want to party. It's party music.
A good chunk of my time listening to music in the car, embarrassingly enough, is like listening to demos of shit that I've been working on.
Yeah.
And I'll just,
I do.
It's like a really good time for me to listen to stuff over and over, really loud, really closely, and like really think about it. So it's like a supplementary writing time.
No,
for me.
I do that shit too. Speaking of driving, I had this question I was thinking of last week, and I'm asking now since we're talking about driving. Did anybody ever let you sit like on their lap and steer, like when you were a kid? What age was that?
I bet my uncle did. My uncle Steve lived in northern Michigan, and they like lived out on a farm.
Yeah,
and I'm sure he did that like in his like farm truck or something like that. He's a lumberjack.
How old do you think you were when
he was a lumberjack for real?
Like cut down trees type shit.
Like they call them foresters.
Loggers.
Foresters.
Like Subarus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We got some background talk.
But yeah, he's a lumberjack. Anyway, he probably let me drive around. I was probably 8, 9. I don't know.
Oh shit, that's younger than even I was thinking. Because I was thinking around like 10 or 11 is when people started letting me sit on their lap while they drove, and I would steer, and they would do the rest of the shit. And then I remember going out to my friends. They took me out to one of their friends' like farm, and I got to drive this fucking like old Ford around, and we were like ripping around a field. And I remember thinking like, oh, this is, I'm just gonna like, I can whip it as hard as I want. I can peel out, and they're like burn out, but we're in a field, so it's like kicking up dirt. Well, I'm going. I mean, I don't know. I'm going kind of quickly, and I just started to slow down, and then I whip it, and the fucking truck tips up. And then pops back down. And they were like, yeah, so don't go that fast and turn like that because you will flip us. And that was scary as fuck. Like I think back now and I'm like, damn, I was just some random kid that's not related to anybody. That's just a friend of a family out on someone's fucking property, and they're letting me rip. And I could have just like flipped us and, potentially killed us. Cause damn well none of us had seatbelts on.
Right. One time, you know how like kids, like little kids, toddlers, they watch us drive. Yeah. So when they have like a fake steering wheel or something like that,
they just go left and right.
They just go
hard.
Like this.
Yeah.
So one time I was out at my mother-in-law's property. They live on the Darby Dam farm property. And we were buzzing around on a golf cart. And I was like, Rowan was like, had to be 4, 5. I set him on my lap. And I said, you want to steer, bud? Was that my phone?
No, that's somebody tuning a guitar.
I was like, you want to steer, buddy? And he's like, okay. Dude, 3 seconds later, almost rolled the dang thing. Because he's just going like this. Yeah. I do show the kids, I do talk to them about driving.
Especially the important stuff like how to roll up the window when there's no fucking button. But
I mean, I just like, like I talk to them about it like while I'm doing it. Like I'm a stick shift guy. Are you a stick shift guy?
I mean, I used to drive a truck that had one, but it's been some years.
You're the kind of guy who likes a good automatic. Good smooth shift and
just
automatic.
Because I want to drive with my knee and eat chicken nuggets.
I still drive with my knee and drive a stick shift.
Too much effort.
No. I like the stick shift because I really like to drive. I really like driving. I like ripping around. That's why I like my Jeep, because it is so small and so
you should just get
mechanical.
a fucking call it a day. Get a Mini Cooper. Call it a day.
No, see,
you honestly look like someone that would drive a Mini Cooper.
Man,
I'm just saying, with those clear glasses.
If I got a Mini Cooper, it would be like an OG Mini Cooper, like a 70s one, like a real deal one.
Now,
like right-hand drive.
As if I thought you looked like somebody that drove a Mini Cooper. You actually look like somebody that would drive an original Mini Cooper. Now I'm changing my initial thought.
No, actually, when it comes to cars, I like stuff that's like big and loud. Like I like muscle cars.
Like
I like
Novas and shit.
Yeah, I prefer mid 60s cars. Like I grew up watching rap videos, so like your
Impalas,
64, 65 Impala, or 63, 64 Impala, your old Thunderbirds, your old, the big 4-door boats back in the day.
Biscayne.
Yeah, Chevy Biscayne. I mean, the Biscayne's really just Impala. It's just like a more family friendly trim.
Yeah.
So I really like the big square boats more than anything, but I just, big motors and loud and angry.
I do like that, but you're right. I am more of like I want like a luxury vehicle.
Are you like a windows up, AC on all the time?
Pretty much.
Yeah. See, I will say this: modern cars are not designed to drive with the windows down.
No, they're actually less fuel efficient,
and they're miserable. I mean, you open one window and it's like,
well,
and it's like
I do the cracked window.
Well, yeah, but I mean, still it's still not made to have the windows open. I used to have a '64 Rambler.
I remember that car.
And you could have both windows down. You could be going 70 miles per hour down the freeway, and this car is just screaming. But the way it's shaped, like there's no wind in the car, and there's no sound like flopping wind sound, because it's just not shaped the same way.
But at that point, it's like, what the fuck's the point of having the windows open? Like, if I open the window, I want wind to come in. You're like, fuck it, I'm going to open the window, and the wind it's just not in there. Like, what's the point of even having the window open? So you can fucking Dukes of Hazzard jump in and out of the thing?
Because fuck you, that's why.
Man, that's fucked up. No, honestly. Like,
no. It is nice still. You hang your arm out the window. You're getting a breeze.
Yeah, but then one arm is tan.
But here's the best.
Nobody wants that.
Here's the best though.
Okay.
Is the old cars got the little triangle windows, and you turn them in, and then it's like air conditioning right down your shorts. It's amazing. Or
you could literally turn on air conditioning. There's a car. I'm gonna have to look it up here, and one of our like. I'm gonna have to look this car up, but I'm pretty sure that there's a newer car that they put a vent under the steering column to blow air like straight in your balls.
Hell yeah. I drove up when I went up to Detroit a couple months ago, or last month or whatever. My coworker had like a brand new, like a 2018 or 19 Jeep Grand Cherokee. That shit had vented seats, like literally air conditioning for your back and your butt.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
That's very common in high-end cars. They'll have not just heated, they'll have heated and cooled seats. And what's funny is like usually that's a pretty like upper car thing. Dude, Hyundai offers that.
The Korean cars have really upped their game. Hyundai and Kia. They're making good cars now.
I could be wrong, but aren't they the same?
The same company.
Yeah, isn't that like the Toyota, Lexus, Honda, Acura?
Yeah. Well, it's a little bit different because Hyundai and Kia are pretty much in the same class, same level. Hyundai split off Genesis as their, high-end brand. But,
dude, I'm looking it up. It might not be it actually might be an older car thing that like kind of went away. And, just let me call out the fact that I said a vent under there to cool your balls off. It could be for women too, or people that got all of the above, like just all of the parts.
Oh, what I was gonna say when I was talking about stick shifts is in the Jeep there's only 4 seats, so Rowan sits up front with me, and let's talk to him like about he just watches me and I was explaining to him how stick shift worked. And like sometimes like on the way to school, I'll run the steering wheel and the pedals, and I'll be like, I want you to listen to the motor, and I want you to feel it, and I want you to shift when you think it's right. And he's pretty good at matching my clutch foot.
So you're doing the clutching, and he's what the fuck if what happens if he just goes no?
He's got to tell me. He's got to tell me.
Oh, he's got to
tell me. You know, I'm just saying, feel it. When are we gonna shift? When are we gonna shift? And he goes now, and then we do it. And
okay, I'm cool with that. I was thinking like.
No, he's not just fucking throwing it into third.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You can't find him, grind him, boy.
Yeah, that's fucking wild. Yeah, so it's definitely nut vents are definitely a thing of the past.
Of the past?
Yeah. I'm sure there's some cars out there still doing it.
In like a PT Cruiser.
Dude, I don't know why those were ever a thing. Those are the worst.
Mm-hmm.
You know what else is the worst? Plymouth Prowlers.
Oh, yeah.
But one
that was part of that late 90s trend of trying to do these like throwback, because there was like
there was a truck too.
There was a Thunderbird. Ford did the new Thunderbird that had that little teardrop window.
Right.
Then they did that stupid truck, the HHR, the Chevy HHR, whatever the fuck
garbage.
That thing was. And there was the whole 70s, the whole like old vintage callback is working much better now with like your Challengers and your Chargers.
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
The Camaro, you know, like the little hints that they're doing. There is a sweet car. You should look it up later. It's called the Equus Bass 770. And it is a little boutique company. And
is 770 representative of the horsepower?
I don't think so. I don't know. But it's beautiful. I mean, it's like $150,000 or $250,000, something like that. But it looks like a weird hybrid between like a early to mid 70s, a late 60s, early 70s Mustang mixed with like a late 60s, early 70s Camaro. It's basically like everything that's cool about the way muscle cars looked in the late 60s, early 70s, but then everything has this like really nice modern styling to it. And it's like the perfect hybrid of like old school car design and like new, really tough looking fast car.
So out of the cars that they brought back, you started to talk about them, like the Challengers and the Camaros and shit like that. Which ones do you like? Which one do you like?
You know, I'm not like really into the whole thing, but I will say I think that the like Dodge is doing it better. The Charger and the Challenger,
I think that
they look way tougher. The Camaros look a little bit lame.
Yeah, and the Charger just fucking. I'm saying just get out of here with that one. But the Challenger, the Hellcat, like those are sick.
That thing's beast.
Yeah,
and also, I mean, let's not forget Chevrolet made the Corvette look like a fucking Batmobile now, so that thing looks crazy. The C7 or whatever.
Yeah. Do you fuck with like those high end luxury cars like that? Like, if you could get, would you know the price point of a Challenger? What are they? The Hellcat. What is it? 50, 60?
That's probably in 60.
60, 70. Okay. So if you had that to spend on the car, is that what you would get, or what would you get?
No.
What would you get?
Am I required to get a new car?
Yes. Yeah, I specifically want to know about newer cars.
Oh. Okay.
Would you go luxury or would you go something else?
If I had 70 grand, 75 grand to spend on a car, I would either.
You're really giving it some thought.
No, because I'm trying to think, like, would I like go really hard on like a really nice Jeep Wrangler, like all of the options,
like the Rubicons or something?
Yeah, the Moabs. No, I'd probably get a Tesla Model S. Honestly, maybe an X, maybe a Model X with the gull wing doors.
Wait, but that's like the weird SUV kind of Tesla, right?
But I would probably get a Model S, like the big fucking ripping sports car.
They just put in superchargers, like at the Kroger right up by us. I wonder what the fuck they were doing, but they put in the superchargers there, and my work has at least 2 charge things per garage. So,
it's crazy. I work downtown. I'm in a lot of parking garages at big corporations, big companies.
Yeah.
There's a lot of. I live next to Upper Arlington. There's a lot of people with goddamn Teslas.
Oh,
man.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
There's several.
It's just crazy to show that, like, people are taking it seriously, the electric car thing seriously, and the Model 3, I'm seeing them all over the place, and those things are $35,000.
Brian Kozicki has one of those.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, shit. I thought you knew him. He used to run sound at a lot of the local events, and then he started a sound company. Now he's just fucking killing it. Just awesome. Absolutely killing it. He's running sound for Red, White, and Boom again this year. Like, what's he been being broadcasted, like NBC and shit, or whatever news channel is doing it.
Did you go down to Comfest at all this weekend?
Fuck no.
Not a Comfest guy?
No. I just don't really fuck with that. Like I could care less about all the gross flapjack titties, and I could really care less about nearly anything that's there. Like, I don't want any of your handmade shit. I don't want fucking Nag Champa. I don't want patchouli. I don't want overpriced lemonade made with water from a hose. I don't want beer served in a cup in 111 degree weather and there's no koozie, so my beer is warm because you poured it to me in a fucking 2-gallon bucket and I could only drink 3 drinks of it before it was hot, if it was cold ever to begin with.
This is amazing. Keep going. This is so good.
There is one fucking reason to go to Comfest. Those big turkey legs.
Never had one.
See, you're fucking up. And then
when I go to Comfest, I get the fucking Taste of India curry wrap. Always.
Fuck that. Turkey legs. I fuck with that Viking shit. And like the only appeal to Comfest, honestly, is like going there and force exposing myself to a bunch of bands that, for the most part, I probably would never give a chance. And to sit in grass and constantly look around and have anxiety that bugs are crawling on me, because I don't fuck with the bugs or critters. So get a blanket, sit the fuck down, obviously under a tree because I don't want sunburn. Like, I burn very easily, as you can see. It's just funny. It's just funny because there's a lot of impassioned hatred towards Comfest in this city. And if you're listening to this and you don't know what Comfest is, it is the community festival here in Columbus, Ohio, which is in the end of June for a whole weekend. A bunch of hippies take over Goodale Park, one of the big parks here, and it's a lot of, It's not a bunch of hippies. It is all of the legit hippies, like from fucking the entire region. It is all of the real hippies from the region, and then it's a bunch of fucking weekend hippies. See, you know what I'm saying?
Here's my deal.
That own like 3 tie-dye shirts, and they're like, you know what? It's time to get out the tie-dye shirts. And some big juggalo girl is gonna go, I'm fucking. Let's pop the titties out. It's titty time.
So a couple of observations, because it's funny because I was literally talking to Sierra this afternoon about how I was like a little bit bummed that we didn't go to Comfest, because I honestly can't remember a year that I was in town that I didn't go. And part of it is probably just because I lived in Victorian Village for a long time. So it was my neighborhood.
Oh, yeah.
So like I didn't have to worry about parking. I walked there. My dad for a couple of years lived on Denison, across from the park itself. So like if you needed to like take a shit, you could go to his house. If you needed air conditioning, if it was raining, if you wanted to go drink beer for free, his house was like the weekend hippie party house. And so that was cool. But and for everything that you said, just kind of sitting and relaxing in the park and just people watching and listeing to music that
I will say the people watching is fucking next level, and there are very few places that I could think of in the world that would ever top Comfest.
No, that's fair.
People watching.
It is interesting to me that with the Comfest haters specifically, the first thing that always comes up
flapjack titties
is women walking around with their tops off. And yes, it's legal in Columbus, Ohio to walk around with your top off, and that's fine. Comfest, being as that it is hippies, is a place where that right is exercised a lot, often involving body paint. It's just interesting because I do feel like there's a lot less of that than you would think based on how much people talk about it.
Because every single example of that is like the worst possible example. And then the next one comes by and I go, I thought the last one was the worst. It turns out that was the warm up, and this one is the worst. And then I'm like, oh wait, that's not the worst. There's a fucking encore. Look. They just get flappier and floppier and fuck it. I'm just straight. Like they're the worst. It's not like you know, the ones you want to see. It's not like nice boobs. It's just the worst boobs.
I don't know, man. Boobs are boobs, but
boobs are not boobs. That's like being like, oh, dicks are dicks.
Boobs are not boobs.
Yeah,
that
boobs
sounded
are
really
not,
funny.
BEWBS, boobs. No, it's like saying dicks are dicks.
Speaking of old guy.
Speaking of dicks?
No, old guy comment here really quick.
Sure.
Because you spelled something boobs. Somewhere along the line, titties started getting spelled out as titties with D's.
Oh, with D's.
That's so dumb.
That's a meme thing.
It's dumb. Fuck Gen Z and fuck their stupid rewriting of history.
Well,
back in my day, they were titties.
Yeah, and then we started putting a Z on the end of them. Titties.
This is a stupid conversation.
I know.
But no, I really, I genuinely was a little bit bummed that I wasn't at Comfest this year. I just like the atmosphere.
Did I? Oh, God, this is me. I come out of left field with shit. Did I ever tell you that I used to sell glass like pipes, like bowls?
Really?
Yeah, you're talking to somebody who's never smoked a day in their life. But I happened to meet this guy. No, how did I get these? Here it is again. My brother. That's where they came from. My brother.
Anytime there's any illicit activity, that somehow your brother's involved.
It really is. It's really not painting my brother or my brothers in the best light, but my brother gives me this Tupperware one day, and in it, because I don't know why or how. I'm really bad with like backstories and remembering certain details. I don't know why he gave it to me, but I opened the Tupperware and there's like 30 little like bowls in there. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And he's like, oh, so-and-so. And he's mentioning names and shit. And it's like people that, he's known for forever and have watched me grow up. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh yeah, he makes them. I'm like, no shit. And so I get on the internet being me. And,
how can I make money off of this?
That's exactly what I did. I was like, how much are these things?
So you were selling this shit on the streets?
Oh, fuck yeah. Because I mean, everyone I knew.
I thought you meant you worked at like waterbeds and stuff.
Nah, nope. Everyone I knew used to smoke weed. Everybody but me.
Oh, I know the groups that you ran in.
Yeah.
Everybody. Weed.
And like, so I had all these bowls and I started looking at how much they went for. And I'm like, holy fuck.
Shit's expensive.
Yeah.
Man.
I was like, I'm going to undercut the fuck out of that. So I sold a few of them and then somebody got real pissed off because this is something I didn't know. Apparently, different thicknesses of glass. And so the first time somebody dropped one of the ones I sold to him, it shattered into like a million pieces. Apparently it was like super thin. And
so you're out there selling fucking garbage.
Yeah,
at a
it
premium.
was like exactly. It's like buying the Amazon basics. The shit. You know what you're risking, right? But you'll do it all for the nookie. No, so I sold all those and I made a decent little chunk of money. And I remember I was like, hey, can your dude fucking blow some more of those things? He's like, oh, he's in prison. I'm like, God damn it. Like, why do I get one shipment of everything before these motherfuckers go to prison?
Knowing me, I learned to blow glass and then I thought that's where you're going to go next.
No, I want to learn to weld. And I feel like if I had to learn to weld, I feel like somehow they're related. Like I need fire. And then through fire, I can heat up glass and then use a straw and blow into it. I mean,
they're very different things.
I don't know. I feel like they both take finesse.
That's true.
No, actually not really. I guess welding and shit and like ironworking, that's some man work. That's some like banging cold steel hammers and fight, all that bullshit. They're taking that big forging metal.
Yeah, and you're like,
and then glass is very delicate.
In a union and like,
Yeah, man, I suck. I don't have a lot of hobbies like that. I need some hobbies like that. That's what we'll do, Colin. Let's create a side business right now making bowls.
Let's go take some glass blowing classes and like, so what are you going to be doing?
Fucking bowls.
Don't worry about it.
Well, here's the thing. This is my thought process, right? Because you said I'm always
looking cool bowls.
you
LLC.
You said I'm always looking for ways to spend things and make money. Medical marijuana, recreational marijuana, it's on a rise, right? I feel like...
No, man, anywhere you can get in that game, you can make money.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like there's my entry point. we got to do something real niche and specific though. Like, is anybody making like death metal themed bowls?
Like pentagrams and
shit? Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Or like fucking bands. They like Ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah. You like in Half Baked where they're like, oh, get out Billy Bong Thornton. Like we'll name them things like that.
Oh yeah. I saw I drove to Cincinnati on Friday night and I'll drive to Cincinnati for a show, but I won't even drive down the street to go to your. I'm just kidding.
No.
I literally did not have time to get there. But I went to Cincinnati and saw Pelican. I didn't go to see them. I used to like that band a lot, but
the band, not the bird, right?
Jesus, man, talk about a band that needs to hang it up. Start new bands.
Who, Pelican?
Yeah. I don't know. I fell off after their second record, and maybe it's just because I'm an old guy who thinks their first record was better. I don't know, but I fell off, and it has never been interesting since. I think that they should start new bands. Anyway, but I saw Cloakroom. I don't know if you've heard that band.
No.
But they're if I were to describe it as anything, it's like, you know how like all the pop punk bands started writing like grunge or like old emo sounding stuff like Title Fight and bands like that.
Oh yeah.
Take that, but then like add like thick layers of weed smoke to it. It's just like really, really fuzzy, heavy stoner emo, basically. And
it's fucking weird.
So like it's like dark, sad, depressing music, but like really like big, emotional, just like thick guitar stuff. It's cool. I really like it a lot. What I was getting at was they had herbal grinders for sale with their logo on them, like herbal grinders.
Yeah.
So it was
for crushing up your pills because you're 70-year-old
for way too much. $20 is too much for that. Listen,
I have no concept. Can you get?
I don't know. It just seems way too much for that.
Got it. Makes sense. I've got to get another hustle. I need more hustles. I don't know when. Like, I don't know when I stopped. I think it's because I'm getting older, but I've stopped having the energy to hustle.
So it's no longer every day you're hustling. It's like every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday you're hustling.
Yeah, it's like every weekend I'm hustling. Like it's just the weekends now. And even then it's like, is it? Because now I'm starting to do like bullshit outside stuff and get burnt. Dude, I'm like legitimately scared to wake up tomorrow. I'm going to be so fucking red. You know how like the red always sets in worse the next day?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, if I'm this red today.
Dude, I'm there today.
So are you saying you were burnt yesterday?
No, if you saw my back, I mean, it's like, especially up here, it's bad.
I was gonna say, because you don't look burnt.
I also spend a lot of time outside, like a lot of time. Like I will just sit outside. I will sit in the hammock. I'll sit in a chair. I'll listen to music. I'll read a book. I like to just be outside. So like as soon as it's warm enough, I'm out there. But the crazy thing is, I have clear glasses. My glasses are clear, and somehow I still have a fucking raccoon face. And I don't know how.
It's because they're blocking the UV, and the UV is what burns you. Did I ever tell you when I first got these glasses, they put the fucking transition lenses in them?
That sucks.
I know. And it was when I started, I had just started this job. I got the glasses, and I was actually at your company. And I was at the North location. And it was real bright. And I walked in. And you know how you got to like go down all those fucking stairs? I was like, first of all, for those of you that don't know, transition lenses are not dope as they sound. Like you would think like, oh, if you walk outside and they get dark, it's like having sunglasses, but you don't got to keep, if you have prescription lenses, you don't got to keep switching your glasses. And it sounds amazing in theory, right? Nobody tells you that when they're at full darkness, they take like 15 minutes to be clear again. So I walked in from outside and I'm like, okay, are these fucking things going to change? No, they were not going to change. So I'm trying to make my way down those crazy ass stairs.
Spiral staircase?
Yes. I'm trying to go down that and I'm like feeling on the wall and it's like, what options do I have? I can either wait until they turn clear or I can take them off and then I just can't see because I don't have my glasses on. So that was fucking stupid. And the main reason I agreed to try them is because I was like, when I get in the car, sometimes I used to just fucking hate driving because the sun would be beating in. I didn't have prescription sunglasses, or I would take like a pair of bullshit glasses and put them over top my glasses just to drive for that little bit of time. And I was like, okay, this will be tight. I'll wear them in the car. And that way when I'm driving and there's sun, blah, 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 I'll have glasses. Nobody tells you that it literally doesn't work, not because of light. It works because of UV. So almost all car windows have a layer of thin film in the glass that block UV.
Oh, so they're not even working?
No, it didn't even fucking work. It was stupid as fuck. So,
and those things, like, after a while, just like start being like residually yellow. The transition, maybe they fixed that.
They probably fixed
but back in the day, it used to be that way. That made me sound old.
Well, you've worked on a computer a fuck ton. Did you ever wear those yellow glasses? No. Have you ever put them on?
Yes.
It really does look like you're seeing in HD for the first time.
No,
I'm like, holy fuck, this is weird. I just don't want anybody to see me.
Eye care is not something I'm very good at.
Oh, me.
I wear cheap glasses because I break them, and I don't have sunglasses.
You fuck with the Warby Parkers?
I fuck with the Warby Parkers just because I can afford it. Because I would love to be one of those guys that's got like a really nice pair of Ray-Ban Clubmasters, but like, are those Clubmasters?
No, but they're Ray-Bans.
You know what I mean? Like the really nice Ray-Bans.
What the fuck? I really feel like you're shitting on my Ray-Bans right now.
No.
I'm like, Colin, I have Ray-Bans. You said, are those Clubmasters? No, you're like, no. Fuck those. I mean the really nice Ray-Bans.
That did sound
you
like
shit on me. Sorry, you shit on my glasses.
Sorry, no. Because yours are way better by their very nature.
Because they're Ray-Ban?
Because they're Ray-Ban.
Man, fuck that.
I can't dig myself out of that one. That was shitty.
Nah, you shit on me.
Jesus.
But it's okay. I'm fine with that.
I wear shitty glasses because I treat them like shit, is what I was getting at.
Gotcha.
And I just don't get sunglasses for some stupid ass reason. Because this was brought up to me yesterday. My best friend was like, why don't you just get some from Warby Parker? And I was like, because I want a really nice pair of Ray-Ban Wayfarers sunglasses.
How much are those? Like, you keep talking about them. How much are they?
I'm thinking $350 for the frames. And then a couple $100 for the lenses. These were $95 all in.
Do you not have insurance or something?
No, my insurance doesn't pay for that. I don't have corporate insurance like you do. I have small business insurance.
Okay. Well, that makes more sense. That's why I have decent eye care insurance. Because I'm pretty sure these frames were like a little over $3. And I don't know about your...
I think I have like $150 allowance or something like that.
Oh, shit, yeah. My shit's way over that. I also have to pay extra for like the creme de la creme fucking lenses because I got some bullshit eyes.
Are you like, when you like take your glasses off, is it like you're blind as a fucking bat?
More so now. Let me explain something. So when I neglected to go get an eye checkup for like a few years, right? And then I go get one, and it used to be like I could wake up, and if I didn't put my glasses on in the morning, I could function the whole day without my glasses. I could read. I just had to kind of squint. I could drive just fine. I could play sports. I could throw a ball, like whatever, right? Mm-hmm. I was good. I go and get a new prescription, and they're like, oh, yeah, your shit's definitely outdated, right? They give me the new shit, and over the course of like the next like 6 months, it fucked my eyes up so bad. Like I could see really well with my glasses on, but I'd have to wake up and put them on. There was no more getting up and doing anything. All of a sudden, it's like just in that 6 months of having my new glasses that were supposedly my right prescription, it made me so heavily dependent on them that I couldn't function without them. And it was like only after I got the new glasses. So it was 100% that.
Weird.
Yeah, it was super weird.
Like mine have, I've had glasses since I was in like 3rd grade. And they've gotten worse over time, obviously, yeah. But like it's still not that bad. Like if I could take them off, I can, like I can still make out the numbers on that board over there.
Can you still see the dick?
It's too light. I can see the hairy balls, but like I can read the numbers and I can make out some of the letters. Like it's not terrible.
Yeah, yeah. My shit's really bad. When I was really young, I had an eye that turned in. I had a lazy eye, but it turned inward. So I had a stupid fucking strong prescription, and I also had to wear an eye patch for a little while to force the other eye to like stop turning in and do some work. Because when they say you have a lazy eye,
matey.
Yeah, when they say you have a lazy eye, they're not fucking joking. Like the way they fix a lazy eye is force it to work. That's fucking wild. But anyway, so I had a prescription. when did I get it? I think I got it in kindergarten, either kindergarten or first grade, right? And then I religiously went like every year and got new glasses. My mom did that before school every year, make sure I could fucking see in school. And one year I went to Lens Crafters at City Center Mall when it was still around, and they doubled my prescription on accident. And I was a kid. I was like maybe second grade, third grade tops, and I get them. And I remember walking through the mall and I was telling my mom, like, I said, these do not feel right. And she's like, no, you say this every time you get glasses. Like, there's an adjustment period. I'm like, yeah, I know, but I feel like the floor is basically at my chin. Like, the floor has come up to my chin. Like, something is something is not right. I go a whole week like that.
What?
Yeah, a whole week. And I'm complaining, and they just think I'm being a kid. They take me back, and they had this like machine where they put your glasses on, and it essentially, it could go through the glass and check what the prescription was. They doubled my shit. So they were like, oh, I'm really sorry. We doubled his prescription. I'm like, like, see, I told you, my shit's fucked up.
Now looking back, but it's because, that person was making like $6 an hour and hated their life because they worked at the fucking mall.
I mean, it was probably making less than that. When I got in 8th grade, I got a checkup, and they basically said, like, you don't need glasses anymore. Awesome. Great fucking news. I'm going into high school. And that was back, glasses weren't cool in the fucking 90s. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you wore glasses, you were just immediately a nerd. So I went through all of high school with no glasses. They said I didn't need them. And then when I was like 18, I started noticing, like, I couldn't see as well as I used to. And like, I was at the height of when I had AOL and I was out of school. I didn't have a job. I was just doing like some design stuff on the side for money. And I remember like I started stealing my mom's glasses and like being able to see. And I'm like, holy shit, why can I see out of my mom's glasses? Because we were both farsighted. And so I go back and get a checkup, and they're like, your eyes are super fucked. You should have never stopped wearing glasses. I'm like, but this dickhead told me I could stop wearing glasses. So I don't have the best like track record with eye care.
That sucks.
I know, man. They fucked me up. Bitches. Why do we always have background noise? It like doesn't matter. And sometimes you can't even hear it. And we bitch about it. I don't know. Most of the episodes. And sometimes you can't even hear it. I was talking to Kyle about that over the week or yesterday. I was talking to him about it yesterday. And he's like, yeah, if you guys record at your house, you can hear water and the dog walking around. And if you record at the practice spot, there's like bands playing. And I don't know what the lesser of two evils are, but I've just pretty much accepted it. I wish I knew anything about fucking audio and how to do shit, because I feel like there's a way to, isolate us through a noise gate or something.
I also don't think it's that big of a deal.
It's not. I'm just a perfectionist.
No, I get it.
I bitch about everything.
I get it.
No, you don't. I'm just kidding. You do.
Jesus.
I know. Are your kids doing any extracurricular activities like through the summer? They fucking any clubs or sports or any of that bullshit?
Nope. As of now, no. We have soccer starting in the fall.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, do they play any sports? But I think you did tell me they play soccer.
Not all of them. I think this time it's just gonna be Miles and B. But yeah, that's gonna start in the fall. But no.
Are they good at sports?
Not particularly. Miles is the middle. He's the athletic one. Sierra's dad was an athlete, and he's good at stuff. Like, he's good at playing soccer. He's good at playing baseball. He picks stuff up really quickly. Yeah. The other two, not so much.
Do you nurture that?
I nurture it without pushing it. I don't want to be one of those parents like, look, man, if you really don't want to do this thing, I'm not going to make you do it.
Yeah.
As far as something like that goes, extracurricular crap. But a lot of it's just a conversation. I was pitching to Miles and he was hitting 9 out of 10 pitches. And I was like, dude, you want to play baseball? And he's like, no, I want to play soccer still.
Yeah.
Okay. So like, do I nurture it? Not particularly in a way that's like, oh, okay, buddy, we're going to go outside and practice for a while.
Yeah.
I did, when they were playing soccer a year ago or a couple of years ago, I did take them to do some dribbling practice and stuff like that. And we went to their school. I felt really cool. We went to their school that has like a really, really long field. And I was like, all right, guys, I want you to dribble to the end of the field and back. And they whined about it. And they were like, all right. And they did it and they got back. And I was like, that was awesome. Good time. I was like, do it again. And I was like, yeah. And I was just like, man, this is the way dad should feel.
Hayden's in cross country.
Yeah. He's ripping it up, eh?
Yeah. That's pretty tight. Which is cool. I'm glad that he found something he likes because like he's kind of like I was. I was never like baller at any sports or anything like that. Like I didn't really have a lot of shit that I was good at. I was really, really good at shooting a basketball. Like when it came to things like that, like I could do certain things. Like you couldn't fuck with me. Like you could give me the ball anywhere on the court and I could just make it. But I fucking sucked at dribbling. So like I wasn't a good basketball player because of that. And then like I could hit the ball every fucking time when I went out to bat, but I kind of sucked at like all the other stuff in baseball. So like I couldn't play any of the infield bases and I couldn't really pitch that great. There was always somebody better. And you didn't really want me in outfield because like I'd get blinded by the light and then just not catch the ball. So like I fucking sucked at all the positions except for hitting. There's always like this one little thing in each thing that I'm good at.
Yeah.
But I wasn't like good at any sports.
Yeah, I'm not good at sports.
Yeah, and it's crazy. I feel like Hayden's the same way. Like he's the smart kid, and I did the same thing. Like in grade school, I scored really awesome on my test and stuff like that. Like I had that, but I was also a dickhead, and I was always in school suspension and peak and shit like that. So he's like growing up like the exact same way I did.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like that's, you know, Rowan's like that. You know, I think I've brought it up on here before. You know, he's perfectly, if I let him, he'd be perfectly content staring at a screen from the moment his eyes open in the morning till the moment they shut at night. And I would venture to say most kids are pretty content with that. But
absolutely.
But like he gets life from.
It sounds like whale noises.
Jesus. He gets like life from like digital stuff, you know, like doing stuff, like he likes learning how to code and things like that, you know. And so I go back and forth on like screen time stuff with him because it's just like I don't like when I was his age, I like if my mom would have said no, don't sit in your room by yourself and play video games, go outside, you
wouldn't have the job you have now, probably.
I would be like, no, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that started to train. I mean, that only lasts so long. You can't always, what the absolute fuck is that?
That's somebody that's got a new toy and it sounds like almost like an alarm or like a cop car.
Yeah. Or like somebody turning a vacuum on and off.
It worries me though. Like what if it's something that we're supposed to be concerned with?
Like, is it an alarm?
I don't know. I would hope this place has an alarm, but I never type in an alarm code.
Let's give it a couple minutes.
Yeah, if that shit's still happening, maybe we'll pause it and
where are we at right now anyway?
Investigate. Holy shit, we're at an hour and 8.
There we go.
We must have fucking what was that opening? We must have conversed about rap for a while.
Where were we? I lost my train of thought.
I don't know. It's hard for me to concentrate with that hootie hooing.
I'm on beer 4 here too, so
I'm sipping.
It was not my first drinks of the day either.
I can tell you came in here with a fucking big ass smile on your face, and then you flexed on me. He said, "Sun's out, guns out," and you flexed.
You know, it's interesting. I was like thinking about this. It is funny that we both happened to come like sleeveless today.
Yeah.
It is interesting to see the idiosyncrasies in how we cut each other, or how we cut each other's shirts, how we each cut our shirts, because yours is like,
I'm going to explain my shirt in a minute, but go on.
This is my interpretation of it. Yours is like, I'm playing guitar in Unearth at Ozfest on the second stage.
Yeah.
Yours is that.
It's because I got the wide tops.
And because yours is mostly just the sleeve taken off.
Yeah, I'm gonna explain in a minute.
And so you're like, I'm on stage playing guitar for a band like Unearth in 2005 at Ozfest, and I am like sweaty white trash dude in the pit during said band.
Yeah,
that's the I cut mine lower.
So I'm gonna explain this now. The only reason I cut this is because you know how we had the conversation about weird fucking sleeves?
Yeah.
These sleeves sucked, right? Let me tell you where I got this shirt. I was bopping around on the internet, and what was it? It might have been like Karma Loop or something. Do you know what that is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There was this thing that was like, $20 mystery package. And it said what it would contain. It would contain a pair of pants, a t-shirt, a sweatshirt, a jacket, and 2 accessories. I said for $20, they didn't say what it would be, right? All they said was
it was just like in our warehouse sale.
Yes. They said it would be designer. And I said, I buy a lot of shit from there. They sell a lot of streetwear shit. I'm going to just take my chance and spend the 20 because I am intrigued. Mm-hmm. I got to find out. I order it. My shit shows up. I think there's 7 things. 6 of them are from the same guy. And one of them is the thin wallet with an emoji on it.
Nice.
So that was
what emoji?
Like the face that has like the tongue sticking out, one eye's kind of wink closed. Yeah, that one. And I said, what the fuck did I buy? I open the package, I see the wallet, and immediately I go, well, I'm giving that to Hayden. So I give Hayden the wallet. I start taking the clothes out one by one. And all of them are from the same guy. I'll have to show you the tag. It's like Brian something with an L, right?
Bricks.
I have no fucking idea what it is. So I have to look this dude up. And what he does is he's super popular in like the upper echelon rap world, right? His name's Brian something. And what he did was he takes popular drugs, right? Like whether it's like Adderall or whatever. And he like puts the logos and things on clothes. So that it's like RX prescription. So it's not, I don't know what this is. So the BRI is for Brian. And then the R and the X prescription, right? It's because that's his thing. Mm. I still have the sweatshirt. I got to show you a fucking picture of this. So the pants that came, they look like Adidas tracksuit pants. They're white, mind you.
Nice.
They're white, black stripes down the side. No other defining markers. They look like Adidas. The jacket is a zip-up track jacket. Again, looks like Adidas. The sweatshirt is a pullover crew neck. On the back of it, there is the number 60. Like sports teams. It has a 60. And the name across the top is Adderall.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I have this bright white, and also like fucking everything was white. I'm like, what the fuck? Am I in the Migos? Like, I don't understand like why, like who's wearing this? So I wasn't mad, but I was like, this is hilariously teaching me a lesson to not buy mystery packs from Karma Loop because
so weird, man.
Nobody was buying this shit. Anyway, so this thing shows up and I go, you know what? This is thin. I actually like the way this shirt feels. I couldn't deal with the sleeves. They sucked. So I literally cut them at the seam. I did not cut it extra. I didn't do anything. I cut it at the seam. One day it started to rip. I cut it down more. This shirt has never been worn out the house until today. And the only reason...
Now it's being worn on the internet.
Yeah, it is. I can fucking... Watch me like... I'll like gray it out or something. I'll
blur it out like a Dr. Dre video?
Exactly. I'll blur it out like there's some titties here.
Do it.
No, I've never worn this shirt out. And does it have anything on the back?
Yeah, it says BRXI and then 2 big zeros.
Oh, see? I didn't even fucking know that. I don't even remember this thing. I wasn't going to wear it at all. And then I just didn't fucking care. I was running late. What is that?
Repping Northern Widows, baby.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah. I didn't design this logo, but I put this shirt together for him. I put the text on the back and stuff like that. But
you conceited bastard. You're wearing your own shit.
No.
Technically.
Technically.
Uh-huh.
I set up files for them. It's funny. I happened to wear this today. It wasn't on purpose, but 1 year ago today, they put out their full length. That was like one of my favorite heavy records of last year. Not because 2 of the members are also in my band, but I legitimately think they made like an incredible record, and they were gone. too soon.
How do you feel about those style of logos, though?
Unreadable metal logos?
Yeah.
Fucking love them.
Do you?
Yeah.
I've never liked them. I like ones that are crazy enough,
but
I can still make out.
That's fair.
Like that one kind of looks like tree roots.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't get down with that.
No, I fucking love it.
I was also the same way, like back in the graffiti days. I used to love like crazy graffiti
that you could read,
but I also needed to read it. I never understood the point. Like,
so do you like when it comes to heavy music with screamed vocals? Do you like to be able to hear the words even though they're aggressive? I feel like that's the same thing, same difference.
Yeah, and honestly, for the most part, I do. Because
like I'm saying, like you probably don't like listening to like death metals like
no, I do. No, I like shit like that.
Okay.
But what I gravitate to and love the most are things that have all the pieces.
Sure,
like I want a good sounding album. I want good guitar tone, good bass tone. It's like it's just building the perfect thing. I want
a readable logo.
A readable logo. Fuck it. Throw that in there. I want the vocals to sound good. And then if I can also understand them, and then bonus points if they're actually good lyrics. And something like, what's my repostability of those lyrics? Like, do I want to copy a piece of that lyric and put it on the internet to describe how I feel at that moment? There, that's you know why? And I just described The Ghost Inside. They are.
You really like that band.
Fucking love them. Fucking love them.
To be totally honest with you, that's just, I have not given them time.
What about Counterparts?
You and I went, like, I could tell you vaguely what that band sounds like. Didn't they just put out a new something or other?
Counterparts?
Like a new song?
Yeah.
Like a week ago or a couple days ago?
If they did, even I haven't checked out yet. How are you, okay, how do you stay up to date on all these things? Like, because I feel like, and this is no bullshit, I feel like 50% of the time that I find out about something new, it's because you posted it on the internet. And I go, God damn, I gotta.
It's weird.
I'm keeping up with my news by checking your feed.
It's weird. It's weird because it's just like what I like to do. It's like I just
So do you hunt it down?
I totally hunt it down. I am consistently. I always am returning to like the tried and true. Like I still go to lambgoat.com.
I still go to lambgoat.
I still go to the PRP. You know, like I still get like my scenester hardcore and metal news.
That I did not know still existed.
Yeah. And you know, I still do that. I read Pitchfork. I read, well, you know, Vice just tucked Noisy back into their bigger picture, but I read Noisy. You know, I'm like constantly just, you know, watching music videos on YouTube, you know, things like that, going down rabbit holes of, you know, recommended if you like, you know, kind of things. And I've always been that way. I've always, it's funny because I was arguing with my friend about this, about how, you know, we were arguing about how like, you got like Led Zeppelin 3 or whatever the Led Zeppelin record everybody thinks is the best. And because I didn't grow up with Led Zeppelin. So, you know, and he was basically like saying like no band now could put out something that's that. And I was like, well, I don't think that's, I understand the mindset behind that, but it's like part of it was because in the 70s, there was only like so many bands, you know, and it's the amount of bands has exponentially grown.
Yeah.
So I was like, if the internet existed in the 70s, there would be like 100 Led Zeppelins that were equally as awesome.
That's
and
true.
So and
it's the discovery.
I feel like that's a almost heretical thing to say, that there would be 100 Led Zeppelins if the internet existed in the 70s. But I honestly think that's true, especially because like Led Zeppelin's whole career was built on ripping off riffs from the black music of the 20s and 30s in America. But anyway, it's where I ended up in the end of that conversation was that, you know, some people are always looking to what they like, looking back, like best music has passed. And I still believe that the best music is to come. And so I'm always looking for what's next. And I've recently been getting a ton of hate from some in our local music community because I love the new Baroness record to the point where like I've listened to it like 30 times in the 2 weeks it's been out. And but it's because I'm always just looking for something new. I'm always looking for something new. I just want something new to listen to.
Just recently, I started actually following bands and shit like that on like Spotify, or like liking them or marking them favorite, whatever the fuck you do to signal like, hey, let me know when they got new shit. I just recently started doing that, and it's kept me a little in the know, right? Like I did it with like I do it with some rappers and shit too. Like I follow Joyner Lucas, stuff like that. I love when he puts out new shit, and I do it on YouTube as well. So I'll follow shit just to let me know when there's like a new track that's out there. But I have been wondering like where the fuck you do it or where the fuck you discover all this stuff. So it makes sense that you're hunting it down.
I also like make a point to go see like a lot of live music too. It's just I just like hearing new stuff, hearing different things, and it's also interesting though because I feel the old guyness creeping in though, because there is a lot of times like, especially now, because there's this huge resurgence with the young hardcore kids. Yeah. That everyone's into early 2000s metalcore again. And there's like,
it's like primarily Knocked Loose fault though.
Well, yes, for sure. But I mean, they're like the flagship or like the poster boys for this whole scene right now. Yeah. Like a band or I honestly think before Knocked Loose, it was Code Orange that was really doing a lot of that, bringing that early 2000s metalcore thing to the table.
I just don't like that band.
And I know we've talked about this. I love them personally, but you know, even like I love a band like Code Orange. I love that Vane band, you know, but at the same time, it's just like the old guy in me is like now I know why like the old guys did it when I was a young hardcore kid, because it's like, yeah, Disembodied did this shit in 1998 and it was way better. You know what I mean? Like you listen to Code Orange's I Am King and it literally sounds like an early Martyr AD record or Disembodied, just with better production. So like, I mean, like it's really you know, I mean, it's just like, so
yeah.
I find I see that kind of weird, like there's a part of me that's the old guy that wants to be like, yeah, the old bands did it better, but then there's a part of me that's like always looking for something new to listen to.
Yeah, I think, and you said something about the internet and like how if the internet existed there'd be a bunch of Led Zeppelins. I think the internet is responsible for not just the discovering of music. It's responsible for the pushing, like the pushing the envelope, right? Mm-hmm. Because I remember when I was first starting to play, you know, we were all 16 through like 20. That was like our age range of my first band. And I was 17 or 18 when we played our first show. And I remember people just telling us like, oh my God, you guys were so awesome for such a young band. And it was super rare to have these like young bands playing and holding their own with these established local metal musicians. And then as time went on, you know, somewhere in my like late 20s, I was going out to shows and I was seeing these kids that were quite literally 14 through 16 playing way better shit than I was even playing in my late 20s. And it was just like, what the fuck is going on? And they're on the internet and they're learning shit and they're finding these bands and they're getting inspired from these bands that are all over the fucking world. And it really pushed the shit. But with that came like a lot of, hey, this is garbage and this is trash and like people being bullies. Is there anything like bully wise or like internet troll that would ever make you stop doing something? Like what's your threshold? Like if you posted something and you just overwhelming, like hundreds of people were just like, this is trash. Like your old shit was so much better. What would that do to your?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like if somebody said what I said 15 minutes ago when I said I saw Pelican on Friday night and that's a band that needs to hang it up and start new bands.
Yeah. What if like the new Maranatha record, like that's what happened? Somebody drops that comment.
To be honest with you, I would probably be like, okay, you know, if enough people are like, hey buddy, time to hang this shit up, it's not cool.
Yeah.
You know, I see what you're trying to do here, like a Black Sabbath meets new metal. But that sounded so lame. saying it out loud. You know, yeah, if people came back to me and were like, hang it up, dude, I'd think about it. But you know, I also firmly believe, you know, I am personally an artist first. So it's like, I don't make anything with the first thought being, what is such and such going to think about this? Yeah. What are the kids going to think about this? What are people going to want to buy this? Or
does that come into the writing process at all, though?
No. See, it
does for me. And that's weird.
I write music that I want to hear. I write music that especially when I started Maranatha, specifically because when I started Maranatha, as I had quit King's Blood maybe 6 months prior because I was having a second kid and it was going to be I thought it was going to be too much for me at the time. And it very well could have been too much for me at the time. But I was, a couple months later was itching to play music again already. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to make some music at home. That's what I want to hear. I want to do a mixture of somewhere between Crowbar, Entombed, and Terror. Like that was my whole deal. That was my whole thing. And it was just music I wanted to hear. And even that first EP kind of makes me cringe a little bit because some of it's just really bad in my opinion. But I think that people respect, for the most part, people respect ownership of ideas. So like if you say, like I really believe in this, I think people tend to respect that even if they don't like it. But no, I think I could be pushed to the point. I think I could be pushed over the line of like, hey, this music's not good, man. I'm
the opposite. If enough people said that, to me it would be a challenge to go back and fix it. And I'd want to win those people over. My pride wouldn't let me just quit.
Oh yeah, that's a good way of looking at it.
But then after I get it, I might think about quitting then.
But I want to hear you because
I don't want to like. But dig you said myself back into it.
So part of your writing process takes into consideration like what are people going to think of this?
Yeah. So I first and foremost write for me and what I think is dope, right? But I think part of being an artist is after you write something, you have to introspectively look at it from all angles.
No, that's
and
fair.
Like, was I caught in the moment? And so I look at it and I go, first of all, do I still like this a day, a week, a month later? Okay, I do. Now, how do I think this is going to go over live? Thinking about who we play with, what we play, compare this to our other songs. Does this fit in? If it does, great. If it doesn't, how do I make it? Does it just need one tweak to a part that ties it back in? Like we have one or two songs that are pretty melodic and punky all the way through. And that's just kind of that. But then most of our songs have like ass beaters in them. You know what I'm saying? Like these breakdowns that make people want to like mosh and shit. And like, if you think about putting the melodic song into a set, it's like, where the fuck does that go? You're going to have a very boring part of your show if the majority of people are coming out and they want to dance to your shit. And then you just sit there and play like a punk song.
So, okay. So I will say that's fair. And I will say that I maybe used to think that way a lot more, specifically with Maranatha. Like,
yeah, your genre doesn't really call for that.
Well, yeah, that's one thing is like, I'm really just trying to make music that's like heavy and makes people want to bang their head.
Yeah.
And I will, we're playing with 2 stoner metal bands tomorrow night. That's going to be like, these are bands that will repeat a riff for 5 minutes. And, and so, but I mean, I would, with Maranatha live, anything was never the point. Like I never even really expected to do the thing live, and then it became a band. But even now it's just like, it's nice. Like I really like playing live, but it's nice to only play once every 1 to 3 months. And so I don't write music with a set list in mind. I write music because I want to record it and I want people to hear it and I want people to engage with it. And if that means people hate it, because as long as they engage with it, even if they hate it, I'm okay with that too. But I will say that if enough people hated it, I would think about hanging it up.
So
not hanging up music.
Yeah, no shit. That's like the one thing, like no matter how many of my hobbies come and go, that's always the constant. It's something to do with music. I'm either consuming it or I'm creating it, one of the two. And it doesn't matter what form. I'll play rock, I'll play emo, I'll fucking write rap songs. It doesn't matter. Like I will be doing music 100% of the time. I just showed my wife the other day how to like start up Studio One, and I have like a weighted key, like with velocity sensitive keys and stuff for a keyboard. And I showed her how to start it up. And I like always let my daughter play the piano and just bang on the keys. So I have a template, like when you open Studio One, you click on the one that says piano, it opens, the VST pops in there, it's ready to go. My wife, like the other day, she's like, she's walking around the house, I'm letting my daughter bang on the keys, and she walks in and goes, "Can you show me how to open this?" It was the first time in the history of us where it wasn't, "Hey, could you do that fucking quieter?" Right? She's like, "Will you show me how to open this?" And then I heard her up there like trying to like play piano. And then when I came upstairs, because I heard her, I was like, damn, she's kind of jamming. That sounds sad. And then I go upstairs and she's done a YouTube search for like how to play sad piano music. And it was a fucking tutorial.
That's awesome.
Over here. And then she was learning and I was like, this is tight as fuck. Like, that's why I got it, is because it's fun to fuck with. That's the one thing I regret never learning how to do, is playing piano better. So I've been periodically learning little things, and I just bought some of the stickers the other day that you put on the keys, so you can like
Yeah.
Because I know like it starts like C is like your main key, and then it I know everything throughout that. But when I just look down at the keys, I can't quickly assess that like, oh, here's C, and I'd have to like count and figure out like where E is.
Sure.
So I got the stickers now, and they're like color coded. So I want to learn some shit. One of the first things I learned though was that Linkin Park thing, where it's like dun 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 dun, and I was like, why?
Of course.
Why wouldn't that be the first? And then the second thing I learned was the opening riff to "My Own Summer" from Deftones.
Ding 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 ding
Yeah,
ding ding
which
ding
is-
ding 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 ding.
And I did that. Now by looking it up, I was like, I know how to play that riff. Fuck, I could play that riff left-handed.
I think that's, I can barely play the guitar. You know what I mean?
Shut the fuck up.
No.
That was such a humble
No.
thing.
I'm aware that like I can write good heavy music. I'm aware of that. But like if you told me to play like, an A minor 7 or whatever the fuck.
Fuck.
No idea.
I would have no idea. I barely know what any of that shit's called. And I play in drop tuning. Do you play in drop tuning?
Yeah.
Dude, fuck that. Like after.
I came from the school of fucking Nirvana.
Exactly.
Man.
Wait, they didn't play in drop.
I know, but
okay.
when you learned how to play Nirvana songs.
I learned in standard.
Oh, well, I didn't.
That was also probably the second. The opening to Teen Spirit was like the second thing I ever learned. The first thing I learned was The Beautiful People by Marilyn Manson.
Oh.
No shit. Well, I mean, yeah, it's like, it was like,
yeah, 06,
06,
I really,
or vice versa. It might
honestly,
be backwards.
That was backwards.
Yeah.
I was thinking the other day how fun that song would be to cover.
Ask Mark. It gets played every fucking time.
So we talked as a band about potentially in the future doing like a 4-song EP that was covers, but we all get to pick. What would you pick? If you were to record, if you're a band, thinking of your band in mind, if you were to record, like, what do you think is a good song for your band to cover?
Well, we have covered a couple things.
But if I'm saying your personal choice.
I mean,
if you did, unless you already covered something that you brought to the table.
I did.
Okay.
I'm like, and I cover things for various reasons, but primarily what I think will either be unexpected from my group or is a fun song I think would translate well into my cover style. I have a specific like formula and style that I use for covers. And I've always done this because my goal, and I'm like outing myself right here, but my goal is in the next like year, I'm going to start a cover band. And what I'm going to do is in that same kind of like Amaya style that I used to write in for the band Amaya, I'm going to take all current songs and make them all that style. So it's one specific style of band, which is like a pop rock, singing band, but it's all current songs. So it's like people that like that style of music that also want to partake in modern hits. It like meshes together well, because those types of songs were always the best things. I went to Paper Tiger Studios and did a Young Jeezy song by myself. So I like programmed the drums, played the bass, and then Travis Kempton, who oddly enough is now our push ahead vocalist, he did the like screaming chorus on it. Yeah. And then in Amaya we did Low by Flo Rida. And then I have a whole bunch that I did at home that like I just never released. Like I did I'm the One. It's that DJ Khaled, Justin Bieber, Chance the Rapper, and Quavo, I think, song. I did that one. I did Rihanna and Drake. That's what I just like to do. Like I like to take, I especially like to take rap songs and do them fairly like they are. Like I still rap them and shit like that. And, and put like poppy choruses to them and shit. That's just what I like to do. And I'm going to start a whole band doing that in the next like year.
I was just talking yesterday about, Sierra and I were just talking yesterday about how, Evergreen Terrace put out the best
that writer's block?
Yeah, it's the best.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Well, their hidden tracks were always awesome covers anyway.
We were watching Empire Records, and the song...
I ain't pit farting on no snare drum.
What?
Isn't that on that? Oh, that's Airheads. That's not it.
No.
Yeah.
It's the same vibe.
Yeah.
No, we were watching Empire Records the other night, and Molly by Sponge came on, and I was like, Evergreen Terrace did this song so well. They did a great version of Mad World. The whole record,
yeah,
man.
that whole record is good. Even the single original track that was on it, even that was really good.
The fucking Stars by Hum. Outback County.
Oh, yeah.
So sweet.
Yeah, they were like I don't want to say the originators, but they were the ones that you could always count on for one good cover every album. So it made a lot of sense when they did that Writer's Block album.
Yeah. The Sunday Bloody Sunday cover is just so good.
Oh yeah, super good.
How like every verse they double the speed of the drums. That's so cool.
I'm trying to think, who were some other bands back then that used to do bitchin' covers?
Really quick, I was gonna say the song that I want to cover really bad is 10 Ton Hammer by Machine Head.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. Have you ever seen Machine Head live?
I've never seen them live.
Right. I saw them with, we were just talking about this show yesterday. I saw them at an outdoor show at the Alrosa. It was Amen, which was Snot, but without Lynn Scott.
Yeah, but it was like a punk band version.
Yeah, but they weren't that bad. Orange 9mm.
Casey Chaos was the singer of Amen.
Yeah.
Orange 9mm came out of some hardcore band, right?
I don't fucking know, but they were garbage. I hated them. Coal Chamber.
Nice.
Slipknot.
Jesus.
And Machine Head.
At Alrosa?
At the outdoor. It was in the parking lot, and it was dead of fucking summer. It was probably like August or something.
Was Sierra at that show? I should ask her
probably.
about it.
I'm sure she was. And then they had to like, people were like passing out from heat exhaustion and shit. So they were on top of the Alrosa with a hose spraying, and people were just like,
What year was that? Like 95? 96?
99. It was when the Slipknot album came out.
Jesus. Wow.
Before they blew up. It was like, because they were on like Ozfest and shit. But I think this was before that. So Coal Chamber, I want to say, damn, were they the headliner? I think it went like Amen, Orange 9mm, Slipknot, Coal Chamber, Machine Head. I think that was the
I'm
order.
looking it up because Orange 9mm, I never liked them either, but they are connected to a New York hardcore band. Weird. I know that. No, I've always wanted to see Machine Head, but not anymore because now it's just the Rob Flynn show.
Right. All right. Do you have a trivial thing that bothers you this week?
Oh boy.
I'll give you.
Do you have one ready to go?
Not really. I did think about
Burn. That hardcore band Burn.
No shit.
Orange 9mm is affiliated with that band.
How so? Like same like interlining or intertwining members or what? Also, we moved on from this really quick, but Chimera did a Cure cover, I think, right? And they did it in like drop G. And this must have been 2000 and I don't know, 2 or 1.
I don't know what member he was, but Orange 9mm was on Revelation Records for a little bit.
Very nice.
Anyway.
So yeah, Chimera did a Cure cover. I think they did Love Song.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember it was in like drop, like G on 6 strings. And I saw them play some other songs, and they had, what the fuck did they play? They played like Vipers or something. But I remember going like, okay, when I dick around and tune my guitar down, the strings are too floppy. So this was me like studying them, trying to figure out like,
how are you doing this?
How are you doing this on a 6 string? It's because they had that thing where they could like change the tension in the back, and it did something. I don't know what the fuck it was, but I had my trivial thing. That's what it was. The trivial thing that bothers me is when it's my wife this week. It's
you're gonna be in the shit house after she listens to this podcast this week.
Yeah, probably. Well, she won't. I'll be okay. I'll smooth it over before she hears this on Wednesday. No, it's actually exactly how today went. Like, she signed us up for, hosting some people coming over, and, she wanted to like go run, and she's like, oh yeah. And I get home really late from the show, right? I get home like after midnight, and she's like still awake, but like in bed, going to sleep. And I shower real quick and I lay down. She's like, I have to run in the morning because she's training for a marathon. She goes, will you make me pancakes in the morning? And I was like, yeah, I'm going to get up with the kid around 7, like I always do every weekend, and let you sleep in. She's like, but I can't sleep in because I'm going to run. I need to run in the morning. It's going to be too hot. Cool. Got it. She didn't go run in the morning.
Sleep her ass in?
Yeah, I mean, she did a little bit, but I did make the fucking pancakes, and then I sent my kid up with the pancakes and was like, yo, go deliver these to mom in bed.
Nice.
So that was a G move.
G move.
And then I brewed her coffee, made sure she got up and shit, but then she didn't go and even attempt to run until like noon. And so I was like, God damn it. Now that the day is just like getting pushed later and later, and it's like, if she's out doing that, I got to be home with the kid and yada, yada. And so then she fails to mention that she signed us up to like host some friends that were supposed to come over like 2. I'm like, okay. So now we've just like, I do this podcast thing on Sunday, and like I really had some other stuff I wanted to get done, but she kind of just bogarted my whole day with like little things that she wanted us to do or me to do without really discussing it. And I'm like, that's the shit you get when you get a wife, man. You get a fucking lifelong partner whom you can trust and you want to have kids with and blah, blah, blah. But then you also get all the bullshit like that where they just sign you up for fucking honey-do list, and it's that bullshit. So that's my trivial thing.
I got one.
I shouldn't be complaining about that, but I am.
I mean, I agree with everything you just said.
Every husband does.
But no, mine's dad oriented is when I ask my child to go look for something, and I know that all they did was like stand in the middle of the room and like quickly look around.
Oh yeah.
And then like I go up there and it's like in an open place.
Plain fucking,
and because by that point I've already yelled at them for like, well, did you lift stuff up? Did you move stuff around? Did you do anything other than stand in the room and just look around in a circle? And then I go up there and it's like, well, not only did you not notice that it was in the middle of the thing, but I already yelled at you for not looking deep enough, and it was in the middle of just like out.
Yeah, I
hate that shit.
I keep telling, and Hayden does that stuff too. I tell him, I go, you got to do the things you don't want to do. You got do the things you have to do before the things you want to do. I always tell him that. That's like I say that to him once a day. Do the things you have to do before the things you want to do. So like he's got just a couple quick chores that he does. Like he wakes up and he has to make his bed. You should start the day off doing something that you can just quickly complete. That way, if you don't complete anything else for the day, you completed one thing, right? So I feel like getting up, making your bed is the first thing you should do. Even though I don't do that, I used to do that. And also, I mean, in all fairness, I get out of bed and my wife is still in it. So it's like, what the fuck am I going to do? Make the bed with her in it?
Right.
Bingo. I have another trivial thing.
I do too, because this made me think of this shit.
Yeah. All of a sudden, it's like these family things, they're clicking, right? So did I already fucking bitch about laundry?
I don't know.
Okay. I hate how my wife does laundry. It is not the same. I've requested her.
Hey, Amy, I didn't have anything to do with the planning of these.
She already knows. I am very vocal. I'm like, don't even do my laundry. I would prefer to just do my own laundry rather than have you do it. For one, she washes that shit on like this. I'm guessing the same as like, you know, the joke about women's shower water, how it's like the surface of the sun. Like women shower on the hottest setting. It's like scalding fucking hot water. That's not me.
I like a hot shower, but
I like warm shower, and then I like to get in and adjust it until it's fully hot. I don't want to get in to a fucking... Yeah,
sure.
Well, that's not how it is. She also washes clothes on the hottest goddamn setting. And we have like a dryer that's capable, or I mean a washer that's capable of like sanitary cycles and like steam and all kinds of shit. All the bells and whistles. She wants to fucking put all those things on there. But the real thing that bothers me is she will occupy both the washer and the dryer with zero urgency on moving that shit, knowing damn well I can't do anything. And then she'll be like, hey,
you go switch loads?
Yeah. Can you grab my load out of the dryer? I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem. And then I'll move like, I'll even move her one to the dryer, right? Like I'll get the ones out of the dryer, put the ones in. And then it's all fine when it's her shit. But the moment I put my shit in there, it won't even be done in the washer for 20 minutes. And she's like, hey, can you move your load of clothes? I have to do laundry. I'm like, you always have to fucking do laundry. How come when my shit's in there, it's like the most urgent matter in the world. But when your shit's in there, it's sometimes in there for 2 days and has to get rewashed because it smells like 2-day-old washer laundry. That's fucked up.
I do the laundry, so because of all of these things.
Yeah.
I just can't. My mom. I was actually talking about this earlier this week because we were having a conversation the other night of like, how old were you when you learned how to wash your own clothes?
Yeah.
And I think I was probably a freshman in high school or 8th grade, something like that, because that's when I started getting like weird about the way stuff fit. My mom was always just like, if you're gonna have a bunch of weird instructions for all your shirts, you're gonna do it yourself. And she showed me how.
Yeah.
So
I've
ever
learned,
since then, that's all I like. I would rather do the laundry because I can control the way my clothes fit.
Absolutely. I wash them bitches on warm or cold. Mm-hmm. Like warm if it's like the socks and underwear load. Like, do you separate your shit? No. God damn it, I do.
I mean, every once in a while I'll separate like white shirts and stuff, and I'll do like a bleach cycle. But like most of the time, we just go through so much laundry,
dude. If you're going through so much, that means you always have the appropriate loads. Now I'm gonna fucking school you on laundry.
Here we go.
And then I want people, if you're listening to this, fucking tell me, do you agree with throwing all that shit in like Colin's doing, or do you separate that shit out? White clothes, they need to be washed with other white clothes. You never read the care instruction? It says wash with like colors. White is not a black color.
Okay. You're going into this assuming that I don't know that's the proper way to do things. I'm very aware of that.
Okay. I guess I'm not assuming. Why are you being such a rebellious punk?
Because it's not. Well, for one, I will say this. 85 to 92% of our clothes are black or very, very dark gray, as Batman in the Lego movie said it. So, you know, that being like, especially Sierra and I, like all of our clothes are dark. Therefore, I can like wash any colors with them.
That's fine. I agree with that.
Deal.
But do you separate dress clothes?
No, if something is like nice.
Okay, let me back up. Not dress clothes. Do you separate all of your button-ups and things?
No.
See, I do. Because I feel like there actually is a sense of urgency for getting those out of the dryer, or else they're all wrinkly.
That's true.
So the things I don't want to be wrinkly, I wash together so that I get them out of the dryer at a fucking appropriate time.
You know what? I also am old school, and I will iron a shirt before work.
Fun fact, I never learned how to iron.
See, that was another thing my mom showed me how to do, and I'm grateful for that.
Early 20s, I bought a steamer. It's because in my early 20s, I shopped at Express a lot.
Yeah. And
they had a steamer, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? And they're like, oh, it's a steamer. It steams the wrinkles out. I'm like, can I burn them? They're like, no. I'm like, I'm buying one. And so I spent like fucking $200 and bought a baller ass steamer. And so I never learned to iron because I always either at my mom's house, I would take a washcloth, get it wet.
Oh yeah, I do that.
Throw it in the dryer.
Oh, I do that multiple times. I mean, my dryer now has like a wrinkle away setting. I don't really like it because it gets it too wet. Like, if you were taught how to do it the right way, you got a washcloth or a sock.
Yeah.
Got a little bit damp and threw it in, and that's plenty.
Yeah.
I feel like my dryer
overdoes it.
Throws a bunch of water in it.
Well, mine has like I was saying that earlier, mine has steam.
Mm-hmm.
So I will steam them real quick, like just whatever. But no, I have a steamer now. I fucking have a steamer.
Now, that being
handheld.
said, your life's different than mine because I feel like you do have to dress up more than I do.
Nope.
No?
Jeans every day.
Well, yeah, I wear jeans every day too, but like, do you wear button-ups a lot? Because I like,
yeah, I wear button-ups.
Like I wear like metal band shirts all the time.
See, now that's really fucking cool, and I do wish I had it like that, but I don't. Do you wear shorts? Can you wear shorts to work?
I do, not these. I have a khaki pair that are cut off.
Those are too short.
Yeah. I have worn these to work before, but like I have a cut off pair of khaki shorts that I wear with a button up shirt or something like that.
When you're feeling nice, you put on your nice khaki shorts.
They're still cut off.
Yeah, I know.
And but I do actually have a black pair like this that's got like a hem.
Yeah.
That I do wear. I usually keep shorts to like later in the week. I have a little bit of respect for office politics.
For Monday, nobody wants to see that. But shit on Monday.
I am very grateful because I'm a creative, and we play by a different set of rules.
I know.
We are expected to look weird or trashy.
I believe what you're trying to get at is you're from the art world.
Oh,
do you remember that?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I remember that conversation. But no, I'm just saying, like, we play by a different set of rules. Like, I don't have to feel obligated to look a certain way because I'm expected to look weird.
I got one last quick question.
He's from the art world.
I got one last quick question I want to know before we leave here because I'm just curious.
Can't wait.
This is left field again. This is me going left field. But I wanted to ask this and I never got into it, so I want to know. Your oldest kid, he's 11, right?
Yes.
When does he get
almost 11?
When's he getting a cell phone?
Man, this is something
mine's been he's been like haggling with me for a couple years.
Me too.
And I'm about at the point where I want to cave and get him something, but I'm looking for a benchmark.
No, it stresses me out. Just because I have to feel I have to think about it a lot.
I'm gonna turn the fucking data off.
Because so he does, he's got a smartwatch and he's got his own number, for that.
You got a Gizmo Pal?
Yeah, just because they're always all over the neighborhood and it's a good way to know where they're at.
That's what I'm about to intro and get him. That you got the one from Verizon?
Yeah.
Do you like it?
Yeah. It's slow and the app sucks ass and
you're like, it fucking blows. Yeah, I like it. I love it.
It does what it does. It does what it's supposed to do. He can call me and I can hear him very clearly and he can hear me very clearly and I can know where he's at. That's all I care about.
All right. So I love your review of it because that's what I want to get him. And I'm probably going to, not today, what fucking time is it? It's 10:10. See, I lose all track of, like when I'm in here, I'm like, I'm going to stop by when I leave here. But no, I'm not going to stop by at 10 o'clock at night. I'm going to stop tomorrow, I think, and talk to Verizon about getting one of those.
Yeah, I stress about it because he's starting middle school.
Yeah.
And Hayden's still got a couple years.
He's going into 5th grade.
Yeah, so he's got a year.
Yep.
And Rowan's going into middle school and I already know that there's some of his friends have phones already. Oh, so I know it's going to come up and I know that this is the age where it's going to become a status symbol.
Yeah.
All my friends have phones and I know that this within the next
it's about time to
6 months, 6 to 12 months, we are going to have to either bite the bullet and say, okay, we're doing this. Like one of his best friends already has a phone. She's on it all the time and all that stuff. And
I'm going to get text neck.
Honestly, it's like, it's not even, I mean, it's sad that that's not my first worry is like actual health concerns of it. But it's more like, oh no, now like my son has like a porno device in his pocket.
That's why you look, if there was never a better reason to advocate for Android phones.
I know.
It is right now.
Although I will say this, Apple is way behind the curve. And we all just learned on Thursday or Friday that Johnny Ive, the designer, has left the company. Mm-hmm. Anyway, Apple is definitely behind the curve on this, but the new iOS 13 is supposedly like, hey, have really, really upped the ante on, AKA said we need to catch up with Android.
Yeah,
on the parental stuff.
It's not even just that. They need to catch up on the customization, but I get it. Them having that tight control over it allows them to keep a consistent experience in the device. Like, totally get it. But if they had a couple features, and it's just a couple, I could be swayed to go back. I could, and because it works so well. I mean, the Apple devices work fucking fantastic. It just doesn't have. It's not open enough for me. Number one, I want widgets. Please, fucking for the life, bring forth the widgets. We should wrap up though.
We are both so tired. I can.
Yeah,
totally
dude,
tell.
I really am. I'm glad that we did this because
Ready
I
to
love
go home and go to sleep.
I love getting out of the house and all that shit. But let's go. Let's get out of here. Heckin' Cool Dads, lucky episode 13.
Episode 13. Peace out.
Peace.